Well, what's going on, guys? So today we have this 30-year-old version. The title is called On Being a 30 plus year old Version. And me being a 40-year-old version, I can kind of understand where he's coming from. So let's go ahead and get right into this video, guys.
Yeah, so I learned pretty early on in my YouTubing about this particular topic that, I really don't like when people say that they feel bad for me. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I appreciate your concern and all, but, it really does kind of feel like this could be way worse. You know, sometimes I sort of think, this is strange, isn't it? I'm 34 and I'm still a virgin. How did I end up in such a strange timeline? And, I go to Google and, see what percentage of people are, still virgins at my age. It's not that many, by the way. But, at least I get to say to myself, hey, this is a rare, unique life situation. That makes me stand out, doesn't it? I actually think that's why I make these videos. This is so not a normal situation that I'm in. It's so strange, how in the world did this happen? Yeah, but I mean,
I'll tell you exactly how it happened, okay? Because I am going to listen to what he has to say. I'm going to break down whatever limiting belief he has that is holding him back from, getting some huzz, okay? But let's go ahead and break that down. 30 years old. Let's just give it 20, right? No, wait. What's that? Let's just give it 15, okay? 15 years. How many days is 15 years? 15 years, okay? 5,478 days, right? Let's just say he started when he was 15, right? Because obviously he's probably not going to be out there bagging at 10. But let's just say in high school, right? Let's just say hypothetically he had the chance, 15. Some guys take longer than usual. And 5,478 days. In 5,478 days, being 15 years, you haven't had sex once, right? Listen, this is not a matter of, the dating market hating you. There's something that is lacking that you've put away for far too long. You feel anxious around women. So every single time you see a woman, you go and you hide, you walk away, and you end up feeling like a bitch inside. This is something that you need to confront. You need to attack this problem. And it's based and rooted in a lot of insecurities that you have. Being, maybe you're not the most handsome version of yourself, so you need to work on that. Maybe you're not as smooth and seductive as you want to be, so you need to work on that. You need to confront these problems in order to no longer have this issue in your life. Because you can't just say this is not an issue and just act like it's okay. I'm 30 years old. I've never had sex in my life. No, brother. There's people out here having sex, and it's not to be worried about what other people want, but you only have one life. And you cannot go your entire life not being able to do something that you should be able to do. And the only person in your way is yourself. Okay? So I just need you guys to think about that. Let's hear what he has to say, though.
And another thing is saying the words male virgin. There's something off-putting about it. The word virgin doesn't feel like it's supposed to apply to a guy. It feels like there's supposed to be some other word for a male. Well, loser, I guess. Yeah, but I really have no shame or embarrassment about it. Which, that feels kind of strange because, I have a sense of shame and embarrassment about things that I probably shouldn't. I'd never dream of, taking my shirt off at, a pool or something. Because, I hate my body. Yeah, that's probably a whole other video topic, but...
There you go. Gotta work on your body. Gotta work on your body. Gotta work on your look, right? The teeth. They could use some braces. And I'm not saying that I'm Mr. Perfect and your teeth have to be the best, right? Because I need braces. I need braces, and I will get them eventually. But whiten your teeth. Make sure that you're confident about, how you look. You gain the confidence through your actions. You don't just gain confidence out of thin air. It's deep-rooted in things that have happened to you in the past. Meaning, when you were younger, you got picked on because maybe you were out of shape. Maybe you were fat. Maybe you were too skinny. Maybe you weren't the most social guy and you were shy, so you were picked on as a kid. So that goes with you through your adult years. But there has to be a certain point as a man where you attack the problem, right? because I wasn't always the most confident guy in my younger years. But once I became a man and I knew that as a man, I cannot blame anyone else for my problems. If I'm unconfident, if it's something that happened to me in the past, if it's the way I was raised, whatever the case may be, right? If it's genetics, all these things, I'm a man now. I can't blame any of those things. It all falls on me. So once you come to that realization, now you can actually work on it. That was the moment that I realized I need to work on my physique. Okay, worked on that. Then, I started gaining confidence about my physique. I had to work on finding a haircut that suits me. Worked on that. Okay, now I'm looking good, right? Whiten my teeth, right? Started talking to women. All these things were under my control. And I developed them by first understanding that it is under my control. No one's going to save me. It's not anyone else's fault. Whatever happened, happened. But the only thing that you can focus on is the present moment and what you have right now. You can't focus on what happened to you in the past. You can't focus on, but I have PTSD, but I have anxiety, but this, but that, but this. No. All you have is the present moment. The mere fact that you woke up today is a blessing. It's an opportunity. Every time you open your eyes, you've been given an opportunity. And every single day that you think about what happened to you in the past, you're wasting this opportunity that you have right in front of you. Every single day that you're thinking about the future and you're getting anxious about the future, you're getting depressed about the past, you're wasting the one opportunity that you have, which is this present moment. So don't put it away. Face it, confront it, and work on it.
By itself. But I have no problem telling you all here that I've never done it before. Making this video, it's not really brave of me at all, because it's just on the level of small talk to me. And this isn't just some oh, wishy-washy, oh, think positive, thing. I'm not trying to pretend that being a virgin at this age.
And this guy, I've seen worse. I'm not saying that, the motherfucker is supposed to be on the cover of GQ, but minor improvements could really help this guy out. Growing some facial hair, getting rid of that beanie. Brother, you're not a fucking a middle schooler. You look like a middle schooler who's skateboarding or BMXing. I'm not saying that you can't have some sort of style, but you kind of look like a, like a hippie type of, I don't know, bro. Listen, there is something in this world that is called objective attractiveness, meaning whether you want to be different or whatever the case may be, there's still a certain guideline that objectively people see and they're like, that's an attractive person. Whether it's a woman, she's objectively attractive. Whether it's a man and women see him as an objectively attractive man. Listen, there's guidelines that you have to abide by if you want to be, seen as an objectively attractive man. And then you also add in your twist, your spin, whatever your flavor and your style is. But you can't be like, fuck that, I'm going to do whatever I want, and I'm going to look like fucking fat as fuck, and fuck that, because I'm myself. Yeah, but you're not going to be seen as someone that's attractive, and if you're a virgin, then that's something that you have to work on, okay? So minor things like just taking off that beanie, probably getting a haircut, or maybe even that hair, slicked back, whatever the case may be, a better style. But it's just, you're 30 years old, and it looks like you are, dressing like a teenager. Women like maturity. Women like when a man looks mature. All that graphic tees shit, all that shit needs to be left in the past. I used to have the funny t-shirts when I was in middle school with the big for sale and some funny stupid shit on it, right? But once you grow up, you have to leave some shit in the past. You have to realize that you're a certain age now. And that doesn't mean to be a depressed old adult. No, it just means that you have to dress a little more your age as opposed to as if you were in middle school. Okay? So minor things could really help this guy out.
Age is a good thing. It's probably not a good thing. I just genuinely never think about it. Like I'm just completely neutral on it. Like I just don't see it as like unbecoming of me as like a man or whatever. Like honestly, like I just kind of don't care about being manly. Like I'm not gonna waste energy on being anything other than what I naturally feel inclined to be. Whether it's manly or not, like doesn't really matter to me. Maybe that's how I ended up in this situation actually. Yeah, but I think one of the reasons for why like things played out like they did, is because I think I had like severe social anxiety. I mean, I've never been
There you have it.
diagnosed with social anxiety, and I might seem like flowery and conversational here, but if we met in person, like I'd probably be nervous, not because of anything you'd be doing, but I just get so tense, and online interaction is even worse.
And don't get me wrong, like when I was younger, like fucking, probably middle school, 6th, 7th grade, I was always an introvert, and I still am. I'm still an introvert. But people need to separate the two. Because growing up, you're told that if you're an introvert, that's why you're shy. That's why you're unconfident. That's why you don't have social skills. No, it's not true. Being an introvert is separate from social skills. Introvert and skills, you hear the word skills, social skills. A skill is something that you work on. A skill is not something that you're given, okay? You can be black, you can be white, you can be Puerto Rican. It doesn't matter. That's something that you are. But the skill is something that you work on, right? So if you're introverted or extroverted, that's just your preference as a person. Like my grandma, she'll talk to fucking anybody and everybody. And sometimes you look at her and it's like, why are you just giving this random person your life story, grandma? But personally, I don't like to talk a lot. Like people who know me, they know, they know that I'm more reserved, but they know that when I speak, I can actually hold a conversation because I've worked on my social skills. But there was a time when I believed in this whole social anxiety shit, right? Growing up as a kid, you believe in it. You believe in it and you think that, oh, you identify with the problem. Don't identify with that problem. If you're depressed, don't identify with it. If you're anxious, don't identify with it. If you're nervous around women, don't identify with it. Understand that these are things that you need to work on. They are not a part of you. Once you detach yourself from that and you realize that it's something that you work on, you can now, have some type of hope that you can actually be a confident man who knows how to speak, who knows how to be seductive, because you detach the two, you separate them. Okay? So social anxiety comes from what? Because like I said, back in my day, I didn't have the best social skills. But now I can talk to women no problem. I do door to door every day of my life, door to door sales. So I talk to people on a regular basis, and I developed that through working jobs where I had to be put in that situation to talk to people. So a skill is something that you work on. For example, when you were born, you didn't know how to walk. But how did you develop that skill? You fell down. You weren't afraid to fall down. You weren't afraid to fuck up. Same thing when you rode a bike. You weren't afraid to fall over and get back up. When you learn how to talk, you weren't afraid to sound stupid and say goo goo gaga and shit, right? You were just doing. But this is the problem that people have when they want to get out of this social anxiety is they think, I don't want to fuck up. I don't want to speak and socialize and I look stupid because you're dependent on the other person's validation. So you're like, I don't want to look stupid. Listen, the only way to develop a skill is to understand that at the beginning you're going to suck. Okay? I wasn't the best socializer in the world. But listen, I was working a busser job and I didn't speak to anyone. But the moment that I got put in a server position and then bartender and then chef, every single day of my life I'm speaking. I'm practicing my social skills. Then outside of work, when I talk to the cashier, I'm adding in some conversation. It's not just like, here you go, scan my things and go. No, I'm working on these skills. So over time, you develop the skill of speaking. And the reason why you have social anxiety is because you feel like you're not competent in that area. You're not competent in it because you haven't worked on it enough to feel confident about it through the actions, through the stack of evidence that you've given yourself. So once you actually work on it and you actually put in effort, you stop caring about what people think, you stop fearing failure, eventually you reach a point where you're actually confident about speaking. So you no longer have this social anxiety thing. Then it's just a matter of if you're an introvert and you prefer your alone time, or if you're an extrovert and you like to speak. But this is something that can be worked on.
Can't like text people. Like, it's just too hard for me. Like if I ever come across as like distant or like unapproachable on here, it's because it's just interacting online. Like it causes me like an unbelievable amount of stress. Like even to reply to comments, it's just like I'm having like a nervous breakdown. Like Jesus, what do I say? Like I sort of think like this person like took a chance and reached out to me. I better not screw this up. But that tension.
What did I just tell you? See? When someone has social anxiety, they think, I don't want to seem stupid. I don't want to fuck this up. No, you have to get out of that mindset through putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. Face that fear head on. If you feel uncomfortable when you talk to people, that's what you need to do more. If you feel nervous when you talk to women, that's what you need to do more. Because how did you confront the fear of having a monster under your bed as a kid? Eventually you looked under and you realized there's no monster. There's nothing there. False evidence appearing real. That's fear, okay? False evidence appearing real. It appears real, but it's not. It's just false evidence that's been given to you, and your mind associates it with fear. So you need to put yourself in that uncomfortable scenario until you get comfortable. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
And like it sort of makes it impossible to come up with like a response, And like I had to calm myself down before I can sort of like think clearly again. And like I have literally paced back and forth in my apartment to like sort of try to calm myself down and like think of things to say in like a response. Even when I'm like replying to my own family and like.
Here's what you need to do. You need to start trusting the very first thing that comes to mind. Okay? Because when you think this way, you're chronically overthinking. And overthinking is not bad if you use it in a positive way. It's better to overthink than to underthink. But when you overthink about negative scenarios, that's when it doesn't benefit you. Because you could overthink about how you could succeed. You could overthink about how if I go approach this woman, shit, I might have to fuck her tonight. I might have to get a fucking royal honey. I might have to fucking turn the fan on high because I'm about to be going to Pound Town, baby. Right? Or you could overthink, fuck, what if she rejects me? What if this? What if that? No, start training your mind to think about success. And in moments like this, where you're thinking, what do I say? What do I say? You need to start building the habit with yourself of not second guessing yourself. You think that I could have made a video back in the day when I was younger? I'm sure I could have, but I would have been thinking this way. Damn, what if I say this and I sound stupid? What if I say that? No. Do you see how now I just flow with my words? It's because I trust what comes to mind. I trust what I have to say. Trust yourself. That is what makes someone socially capable and socially confident, is trusting in their ability. You trust yourself, but you build that over time through just saying the first thing that comes to mind. Stop filtering yourself. When you go out in public and you want to say hello to that person, but then you're like, maybe I shouldn't. No, stop second guessing yourself. You feel like doing that? Hello, how you doing? Good morning. You feel like making a joke here? You do that. You feel like going and talking to that woman? You do that. Trust the very first feeling that you get and stop second guessing yourself. Because when you second guess yourself, you become your worst enemy.
Like text and stuff, it's like I'm sweating bullets, So actually, they're the only people that I'm texting anyway, because like I have like 3 or 4 numbers in my contacts, and they're basically all immediate family. But as I say this, like I think to myself, like I have no problem talking to like a cashier, like like the whole sort of like, hey, thank you, have a great day, you too. But I think with the cashier, like there's a very clear reason for us interacting, there's no reason to be nervous at all because the boundaries are very clear, and all I have to do is not cross those boundaries. But with other kinds of communication, the guidelines aren't so clear. Like someone just like randomly talking to me on the street, like I'm gonna be pretty nervous because like what are we doing here exactly? Like, am I supposed to be making small talk here? What the hell is going on here? There's no point to this. What do you want from me? Yeah, YouTube kind of makes it weird sometimes because they like randomly delete comments, and it's like, God, did this person think that I deleted their comment? It was YouTube, I swear. And then sometimes it doesn't notify people when I've like responded to them, and it's like is YouTube like trying to create a misunderstanding? Like if somebody thinks that I deleted their comment, like and they get mad at me or something, like does it increase their engagement? I really wouldn't put it past YouTube to do something like that. I think another one of my issues is that like I kind of have no ability to be like obnoxious. I think it's probably related to the social anxiety, but I just remember this one time when I was working at Giant, which is a supermarket. Like I think it's called Martin's in other areas of the country. On my first day there, one of the cashiers was like teaching me how to use the register, and she was cute. But see, the thing about interacting with a cute girl, at least for me, is like I always sort of think in the back of my head like how exactly am I supposed to be acting here? Like I'm sure I'm supposed to just act naturally or whatever, but I don't want to be like misinterpreted as like oh God, here we go again with some doofus guy trying to hit on me. So I think I kind of come off as like a little distant.
See, this comes from doubting yourself. It comes from doubting yourself. oh, I would be seen as a doofus. No, you have to start, trusting your very first thoughts. Okay, of course, think ahead. If I'm gonna say this, how is it gonna sound right? But not in a negative way. It's strategically thinking about how you're going to go about this, how you're gonna maneuver this. Because when I get into that mode and I'm locked in with a woman, right? I'm still thinking about what I'm gonna say, but I'm thinking about where do I want to take this, right? It's not a matter of, fuck, what if I say this? Am I gonna sound stupid? If I say something and it comes off wrong, okay, whatever. That was my first thought in the moment, and if it backfires, so what, right? That's what I believe to be the right move at the time, and if it backfired, it is what it is. But you have to be able to get comfortable with just saying what comes to mind, and then you learn from it. You learn from the experience. You said this, you got a certain type of reaction. Okay, maybe next time I won't say that again. Okay, you do this and then it doesn't give you the reaction that you wanted. Okay, well, next time I'm going to tweak it so that I can say it this way, and I'll test it out. I'll see what kind of reaction I get. And over time you perfect your craft. You learn what the next move, what is the best next move, right? Because if you play a video game, the very first time that you play it, you're probably going to fuck up, right? But over time, you fuck up enough times, then you realize what the next best move is. You get that through experience, through playing the game, okay? So don't be afraid to say something and, oh, I fucked up, and stop telling yourself that you're a fucking doofus. Because I never tell myself that, oh, fuck, if I say this, she's going to think I'm a doofus. No, I think every woman that looks at me wants to fuck. And I'm like, baby girl, you're not ready for this, right? That's how I think. If a woman looks my way, if she looks, she took. If she looks, she took. If she looks my way and she stares for just 1 millisecond too long, I'm like, oh yeah, she want to suck this dick. That's how I think, right? So you got to develop the feeling of, I'm going to say something and I'm not a stupid person for saying it. I'm a fucking doofus if I say this. But it comes from trial and error.
Because I'm just like giving one-word answers and largely avoiding eye contact. Like there's this picture of
I was gonna say that because he's like this the entire time, and I'm like, I already know he does that in person, right? Because I understand on camera, right? Sometimes even I talk like this, and it's not that I'm unconfident and scared to look at the camera. It's just sometimes when you're speaking, you just flow better when you're just speaking, right? But you have to get in that mode to where you look at the camera. And it's the same thing in person. You have to train yourself to look at the person in their eyes, right? When I'm speaking to a woman, I'm not like this, right? Like sometimes, when you talk, you look away for a second. You learn how to control your eye contact. But for the most part, when I'm speaking to a woman, I'm always looking at her in her eyes. And that's why the seduction doesn't even have to be on a date. Just the way that I look at a woman. Like if I'm looking at her and we're having a conversation, she's going to get undertones of, even if we're having a regular conversation, that's how the tension gets built. Because there's undertones of like a sexual nature that's hidden, and she wants to find out more. That's why when you're on a date, it's important to look at a woman in her eyes, especially when she's talking. Make her nervous, right? She's speaking. And you're not like this, you're not all, no, you're literally just, like, have you ever been nervous if a woman looks at you? Like you're speaking and she's just beaming you in your eyes, right? And you're not very experienced. You probably feel nervous, right? That's the feeling that you want to give her. She's speaking, she's just speaking her mind, and you're just like this. You're just looking at her, right? And you look down, look at her lips, look up. But you have to get comfortable with making eye contact. It's very important.
Some poor kid at some party, and he's like awkwardly standing in the corner the whole time, and that's basically the feeling, like I'll only allow myself this narrow range of space and behaviors with which to operate, because people terrify me. Yeah, but after my first day was over, which to me was exhausting because I'm trying my best not to overstep any bounds. Some manager guy came over, and he was a young guy, and then he starts sort of playfully poking the girl in the stomach, in a flirty way, and she's giggling at it, and it's I feel like I missed a class or something right around 6th grade where they taught some crucial bit of knowledge that I was supposed to learn, because right around this time I know noticed that everybody else like seemed to learn something that I didn't. Like there's some sort of like obnoxiousness or something that other guys have that I've just like never had. That I kind of wish that I had. Like sort of like a guys just being guys thing. Like I have never in my life been just a guy being a guy. Maybe it's because I'm like a loner. Maybe I need like the right social circumstances to like release whatever hormones need to be released to like not feel so inhibited all the time. Like maybe I know on some like biological level that like nobody really knows me well enough to know what my intentions are. So like I could be a threat or something. And so maybe it's not like super advantageous to be like too overt. Yeah, but then the question becomes like why haven't I ever been in the right social circumstances to begin with? Why haven't I had IRL friends since I was like 13 years old? What the hell happened? I really have no idea. And like I don't even have like online friends anymore. Like I literally just don't have conversations with anyone like except for my mom and dad. And like at age 34, like I'm sort of in this no man's land where there's nobody that I can like really relate to anymore. Outside of like a select few other YouTubers that like have a similar situation to mine. But people my age have like kids that are like nearly teenagers. While I'm sort of still living the life of a teenager. Well, I mean, socially crippled teenager that doesn't go to school. But it does kind of feel like my only recourse at this point is to sort of like whine about it online and hope that it catches on. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that I'm not trying to fix these issues. And like I kind of have a hunch that fixing my social anxiety, like it'll be like one of those things where if I just had a sort of slight change in my perception, like everything else would sort of fall into place. Like that optical illusion where the dancer can like be spinning either way depending on how you're looking at it. Like I sort of feel like if I can sort of mentally get the dancer to start spinning the other way, then I would stop like freaking out so much about social situations.
Yes, I agree. You do have to change your perception. That's the very first thing, right? Like I said, understand that failure is just a lesson. Once you start seeing it that way, then your perception changes and you don't fear failure anymore. So you can actually take action because you're not afraid of what if I fail? What if I look stupid? What if I look dumb? The moment that you switch that, right? I switched my mindset when, years ago to think anytime I see a beautiful woman, I'm going to go talk to her. Even when I first started out and I wasn't the smoothest motherfucker in the world, but I changed my perception to I'm just going to do it, right? What are my options here? I don't do it and I'm a fucking incel, or I do it, might fuck up a couple times, but I'm still going to get some ass, right? In the long run, in the end, I'm still going to get some ass. And me being me, I want to get some ass. I want a bitch to top me up, right? So I can't take the option of being an incel, letting your fucked up perception of the world fuck me up for life. No, I'm going to take action. So what did I do? Every single time I saw a beautiful woman, I don't give a fuck if she's in a friend group. I don't give a fuck if she looks like she's with her dad. I don't give a fuck what the case may be. I'm going to go and I'm going to talk to her. And I'm going to work on that shit. And this guy, he said that he's going to try to fix it. Most guys, I'm not saying this is his case because I don't know the guy. This is my very first time seeing him. But most guys, when they say this shit, they say, oh, I'm going to try to fix it. But their trying is just mental efforts. No, trying means you're taking action, which means you're putting yourself in that situation. You're going and you're talking to that woman. You're talking to this woman. You go to Target, you talk to that woman. You go here, you talk. You have to take action. That's the only way that you'll change. And if you want more information like this, listen, I got plenty of videos. If you want to know more in depth, go watch a lot of my videos. On a lot of my videos, I go in depth. So check them out if you've never checked them out before.
It's just a matter of figuring out which dancer in my head is spinning the wrong way. But before I fix all of that, like I want to get my body and like my health to like exactly where I want it to be. And I'm thoroughly sort of rounding the corner on that. By the way, I'll definitely be making a video.
Yeah, no, this is not the type of mindset that you want to have. Of course, you want to work on it, but this is the thing that most guys, create in their mind, that there has to be a perfect scenario. There's no perfect scenario. Guys think, I'm going to work on my body, I'm going to get super in shape, and I'm going to work on my money, and once everything is perfect, then I'll take action. No, you have to learn how to take imperfect action and correct your steps along the way. Because if you wait so long, I'm going to work on my body. How long is that going to take? A year? 2 years? When are you going to be satisfied? And then you're going to start taking action? Are you really? No, take action today. Because you could still be fucking women and look how he looks, right? Of course, he has some minor things he needs to change, but it's the perception in your mind that everything has to be perfect. It doesn't, I'm telling you.
When I get to where I want to be on that particular subject. But 34-year-old virgin. Life is kind of boring at the moment. But zero shame.
Well, guys, that's the video for today. I hope it helped you out. And like I said, if you want daily content, go watch all my videos. If you want to see my day-to-day life, follow me on Instagram. I post everything on there. I post my thoughts, my mindset, whatever the case may be. So feel free to show your support and drop a like and leave a comment. I love reading your comments. I'm out of here, guys. Peace out.